All right, we are back. For me, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but we are going to continue our deployment story now and talk about the lovely country of Iraq. It is a lovely country. So beautiful. So much potential. So much potential. So anyways, we got tasked with going on this one mission. And the Marines are doing a big push, clearing out all these villages and cities and whatnots. And we had to bring out a bunch of the Army bulldozers. So these engineers, I'm assuming they're engineers operating the bulldozers, could build fucking sand berms around entire cities. So our base literally was built around us. It was just a bunch of really fucking high sand berms. And if you've ever been to Iraq, you'll know that, once you get up north and to the west a little bit, it's more rock and dirt and less sand, if that makes sense. So the shit's hard, right? A lot of rocks. And once you start driving vehicles over it, you break through and you find this crust. Or you break through the crust and you find this, like, the best way to describe it is like fucking flour, right? It's got that kind of substance to it underneath the crust, right? And the more vehicles drive over it, the more they break up all the fucking chunky shit. And the more you end up with this literally landscape that is nothing but flour. It basically feels like you're walking in fucking flour. And if you can imagine, if you've ever touched flour before, if you've got a bunch of flour covering everything and you just take a step in it, you're going to sink in it. So if you've ever stepped in like the muck at the bottom of a fucking swamp or a fucking pond or a creek or something of that nature and your foot gets kind of suctioned down, you got to pull that bitch out. That's what it feels like, only the shit is fucking completely dry. Even though it doesn't feel like it's dry, it's really fucking trippy. We called it moon dust. So yeah, the base, the Marines build a base, or the Army builds kind of the berms and around all of us, and we happen to be there with the Marines, and this shit gets broken up over the fucking like 10, 12 days we're out there in the fucking desert, sleeping in our trucks, sleeping on fucking cots, or pulling fucking watch out of our vehicle turrets. And yeah, this shit was fucking awful. Like, if you got it on your clothes, it was in your clothes. Like, you had to soak that shit for like days to get it out of there. Pretty magical stuff, right? Well, as you can imagine, people coming in and out of this little fucking outpost have been using the same route all the time. Beat a path down and we're driving down the same exact path every time. Or when helicopters came in to drop off supplies, the perimeter security vehicles that would run out there would kind of park in the same spot. So over time, driving on the shit, you make the moon dust. And there was this one period where there was a little cemetery outside of this outpost, and locals were having a funeral, and a bunch of them walked out there, and one of them must have been carrying a little something extra and dropped it and lost track of it. So we're out there pulling security for, I don't even know what the fuck we were doing. We were out there pulling security. I think we were just helping pull security, or we were just getting ready to go on a mission, something or the other. Anyways, this helicopter is getting ready to come in. The Marines have their vehicles out there, doing 360 degree security. And all of a sudden, I look over, see the Marines, Humvees, driving into position. I hear a fucking boom. I look over, I see a fucking big old mushroom cloud going in the air. I see fucking Marines running around like ants. And I'm like, what the fucking shit? And obviously, it all made sense, because I had noticed we'd been out there a lot when those helicopters would come in, and they were going to the same general area. I'm like, holy fuck. How did they get that close to the outpost, right? Turns out all the Marines, they were fine. Their Humvee got fucked up pretty bad, but it did its job. The armor did its job, and they're okay. But yeah, that just kind of implants in your head all the times when they're saying don't make yourself predictable, right? Do things different every time you do something. That sort of shit. Don't, driving the same tracks all the time on a steady basis, day after day. Don't do that sort of shit. Don't leave at the same time to go out on missions, because then people can set up ambushes. But it was actually fun. I got a pretty funny picture of it, too. Because, it just, boom, happened. I had my camera. I'm like, oh, shit, click. We got a fucking mushroom cloud going up in the air. But, like I said, good thing nobody got hurt. Bad thing, whoever was berming, they managed to hit a oil line and flooded the fucking a big chunk of the city in crude oil, and that shit fucking stinks. And they also managed to hit a fucking high pressure gas line, like a big gas line. So we sat there literally 7 fucking days, which felt like an eternity, listening to, if you've ever heard a jet engine power up right before it's about to take off, that's how loud it was for 7 days, 24 hours a day. And then it smelled like fucking the shit they put in natural gas so you can smell it on top of it. It was pretty harsh, but that was a fun experience overall. Ain't gonna lie. Because on top of that, we were out at the Haditha Dam, which was right up the road. And we were fucking kind of that's where we went to run our missions out of at first. And then we were gone for 10, 12 days. And then we were back there. And I don't really know what the fuck we were doing. We were just kind of doing whatever we did. I found a little lizard out there, though, and it was wintertime, so the fucker was moving really slow, because it was cold. And then I brought him in the Humvee, and we had the heater on, and he fucking woke up, and he ran away inside the Humvee, and we never saw him again. He was my friend. But, a lot of random shit. People get hurt over there, too, not even combat related, just accidents. Because there's so many moving parts going around and so many vehicles, flying, driving, whatever. See some weird fucking shit. Yeah, and unfortunate shit. But, I guess ambushes, right? Yeah, like Brother Rondell said, that fucking Ramadan night. It was the end of Ramadan. Everybody was fucking wham jam celebrating, had their fucking AKs out, fucking firing tracers into the night sky, and it was fucking beautiful. It looked like some shit out of Star Wars. I was standing up my turret with my night vision goggles on, just watching it. And I think we got hit 3 times in total on the way home through Baghdad. And I want to say, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, but after that, the rear of our convoy got hit on that ambush, I'm pretty sure we had been stopped, and it was a divided highway, so 2 lanes here, a little bit of grass, or not grass in America, but dirt in Iraq, and then 2 lanes over here. And I noticed it was nighttime. There was another convoy stopped on the northbound direction of the road, and we were on the southbound. And I'm stopped, and I'm sitting right here. And, directly over to my left, I'm just kind of, checking them out. Because they're all there, fucking stopped, lights out. And my night vision was pretty good at the time. Because we'd been driving around in the dark for so long that my eyes had adjusted. And all of a sudden, I got this fucking... It wasn't even a fucking boom. This is how close we were to this shit. If you are really close to an explosion, it doesn't go... boom. It goes like a fucking high-powered rifle, like deer hunting in the woods. Have you ever done that? And I fucking look back, and I notice it fucking happens right between where two of the fucking vehicles were stopped. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. In my head. Because I didn't utter those words. But then, you know, my truck commander's like, hey, where's the vehicle behind us, the KBR truck? And I'm standing there looking, and it's just fucking smoke and dust, completely covering everything across the road. And then all of a sudden, I see the fucking headlights start to come through, and he's moving, and I'm like, hey, we're good, he's moving, let's keep going, right? Come to find out after the fact, at that time, I was in the vehicle that had the medic in it, so he was sitting right down to my right side, or like next to my right leg, if I'm standing up facing forward in the turret. And he's like, Nelson was like, damn! Because apparently that's what I said when the fucking IED went off. Big fucking flashlight. That was like some cool shit. Hopefully nobody got hurt. I don't know. Couldn't tell you because, you know, they got their mission, we got ours. We got a bunch of fucking civilian contractors that we got to fucking take care of. So we had to move, right? There was another time where they, those fuckers were just whatever. They would shoot at you intermittently, and they'd try and blow you up more often than not. But sometimes they'd have like a little bit of a complex ambush going on where they'd have maybe IEDs, RPGs, and then, you know, machine guns. And they fucking were, I'm sitting there singing. I was a truck commander at this time. I know I've told this story before in one of the Q&A videos to Brother Rondell, but I'm sitting there. I'm truck commander at the time. Got my driver, got my gunner, and singing, shooting the shit, driving. All of a sudden, I see this big white flash and explosion to our front left, or like basically our left side, and like these fingers of white, like fire going out. And I'm like, huh, that didn't look like an IED. And then they start shooting at us from the right side. And I'm like, oh shit, this is really happening right now? And, you know, you fucking go over your briefing before you go on any of these convoys, right? And you tell the people that you are taking to wherever you're going, you know, like in this case it was military fucking geniuses driving these trucks with supplies on them, and you go, hey, we take contact, you fucking will have a gun truck that will peel off into the left lane, or, you know, the opposite lane of wherever contact's coming from, and you fucking follow them. And you push through the kill zone, and you'll go up a couple miles, and you'll stop, and 3 gun trucks will stay behind, suppress the enemy, and they'll fucking link back up, and la-di-da, we're on our way, right? These fucking dipshits, you think they did what they're supposed to do? No. So they tried, I had my fucking gunner like trying to wave them with a flashlight. These idiots don't know what they're fucking doing. Then they try and tell my vehicle to go to get the vehicles to follow. I'm like, fuck that. You know, we're right here in line with the enemy. We had another gun truck in front of us, and that's all it was. Like, we were the first 2 vehicles, and then there was convoy vehicles behind us. But it's dark, nighttime, and, you know, the vehicle up front was shooting, I think. We're trying to, like, see where the tracer fire is coming from in the dark, and my driver reminds me, hey, Sergeant Nelson, we got a fucking thermal camera slapped onto the front of this fucking truck. The way it was set up, there was an arm on the camera, and when you turn it to the right, the arm would eventually hit the windshield, and that's the farthest it would go. So crank that bitch to the right. I can see him in my my little screen for the camera, and I got this fucking green fucking laser, green pen laser. And I lean and I like line myself up with the camera, which way it's facing, and I just do a little back and forth like this. tell my gunner, hey, shoot fucking here. And he does, and it looks like, the dudes all disappear, but it looked like one dude just straight went down, right? There's like 3 dudes ambushing us. And after that, the fire was suppressed, and we fucking pushed on, right? As we're moving, I think I got everything there, yeah. So fucking no night vision on the gunner's weapon. He was just firing off of my direction, basically, like kicking that shit old school, right? And as we're driving off, we notice there's a fucking Bradley, which, if you've never seen a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, Google it. It's our mini tank, as we like to call them. It's what I drove when I was in Korea. This fucker's just sitting there, like right on this overpass, not 300 yards away from where we're getting ambushed, in front of Abu Ghraib prison, no less. And fucker didn't move at all. I don't even know if that thing was like, I don't know if there's goddamn people in it, because I don't know why they would not have fired or moved, or they were sleeping. I don't know. It was funny though. But yeah, it's like kind of those times, you get, it's not really the fight itself. It's like after the fight, once we got to where we were going, all vehicles accounted for, everybody gets there safe. It's just fucking, everybody is so pumped up on adrenaline. Everybody's fucking talking, laughing, joking about, the fucking firefight they just went through. And you see it, and you'll hear it from anybody you talk to who was in it. It's because it's funny. Like, you got this, we can literally defeat anything that comes against us mentality as long as we stick together, sort of thing. And that's the thing that is fucking, you can't recreate that shit outside the military. It's not possible. Like, it's just not possible. But those are like the great memories from Iraq, is just the sitting around, the bullshitting, the shit talking, the laughing, and you're basically with, like, you're on, like, in our case, we were on a road trip for 13 months with our fucking best friends. As fucking cheesy as that sounds. Fucking awesome time, though. Awesome time. But yeah, they had hit some of our other, other squads got hit. I can't speak for them. Some of them got hit really hard with fucking complex ambushes, and some of them got hit pretty bad with IEDs, and everybody came back from our company, and that was cool. We got lucky as far as that goes, because we had a lot of vehicles that got fucking hit by IEDs, but everybody came back. So fuck yeah, America. Food in Iraq. The chow halls are pretty fucking good. That was, I guess, one of the cool things about the fact that we were in the position we were in with the convoy security going all over the country was that we got to try out different people's chow halls on their different bases, wherever they were, big, small, fucking large or tall. Now, mind you, we would have rather, I think, it seemed like from talking to everybody, we would have rather had our own area of operation that we were in charge of, doing patrols, keeping the peace. Something that was ours, right? But it wasn't the hand we were dealt, so we fucking did the best with what we had that we could. And yeah, anyways, chow halls, like, you start to, the more and more you go to these places, more and more you try these chow halls out, you're like, oh yeah, fucking go to this chow hall over here because it's fucking way better, and they have this compared to that chow hall over there. Food in general, you're going to be fucking rat fucking so many MREs during your time deployed, if and when you should ever get deployed, which is kind of sad, because a lot of times you just go through these MREs and you fucking destroy all the good, like, sweet foods and the fucking crackers and the cheese, or the crackers and the peanut butter, or the candy that's in them. Sometimes you eat the meals too, obviously, but not nearly as much as, like, when you're in basic and you are eating your whole fucking meal from start to finish. But when you're fucking bored, which you will be, you will eat. Just be careful of that shit. Because when you're bored, you eat, I find out. Over there. Yeah. A lot of fucking bored eating going on. But when you're bored too, that's when you have some of the most fun because you're just fucking goofing off. You know, as long as you don't have a task at hand at that exact moment. Just fucking around, hanging out with your buddies, carrying a weapon the whole time. And it becomes so normal. It's weird when you get out and you don't have one with you at all times. And I know some of you be like, oh, well, why don't you conceal carry? Come on now. I don't really live somewhere where I need to worry about concealed carrying. And don't make the fucking argument, oh, you never know. Well, you never know if you're going to get hit by a fucking car when you walk across the street. So does that justify buying one of those big inflatable fucking bubbles and walking around everywhere you go in it? Come on now. Stop being so scared, people. Just remember, if they ain't within 100 meters, they can't shoot worth shit. Alright, thanks for watching part 2 of the Iraq Chronicles. If that's what we're calling it, I don't know. Just want to say thanks to everybody who is taking an interest in looking at this fucking ugly mug. Speaking of ugly mugs, had some smart ass comment me in the last video my wife and I just made, asking how I landed that. Like, seriously, bro, how I landed that? If you've watched any of my videos, and obviously some of you have, you see that I'm a pretty lovable fella. And I've got a nice jawline. I don't know about the big fucking nose, because that thing's going to keep growing. I got baby blues, fucker. How did I land that? Come on, hang out sometime. I'll be your wingman. I'll show you how I fucking landed that shit. But again, thanks for watching, everybody. Questions, comments, concerns, swoop, down in that stanky area. We will get together on the next one. We'll talk about fucking just day-to-day life, I guess, while you're deployed. In the next one, probably write that down, otherwise my dumb ass is gonna forget. But anyways, if you like it, thanks for the likes. If you don't like it, let me know what you don't like. This is a like living thing we've got going on. We're like creating a monster, and monsters are cool. So let's fucking create this monster together, and we can all say we've been a part of it. Fucking America, and suck it.